5, 4.
Oh, hello there.
You that's better. Hello everyone and welcome back to GBHL Fluffiest Armies, Fluffiest Tournament Armies, and today we have the famous and the awesome Mr. Will Champion, a TO in his own right who's run a fantastic event up in Ripon. You going to run another one?
Yeah, next year.
You going to make it 1,000 points?
I believe so.
I'm painting. Right, okay. Well listen, we're here to talk about your Fluffiest Army, and I believe we're looking at last year's events when you brought Galadhrim.
Yes.
You want to tell us more about that army, Will?
It was 750 points, and it was full Galadhrim, so it was Galadriel, Rumil, Haldir, 34 troops, 2 Guard and Galadhrim Court. I think Radagast came to say hello. But that's
He wasn't on Eagle, no?
No Eagle. But they're both from forests and stuff, so it's fluffy enough. That's how it works, isn't it?
So how did you get on?
I won the first tournament I took them to.
Fantastic. What sort of armies did you come up against? I believe that was here in Sanctuary last year.
Yes, it was exactly a year ago.
Are you defending your title here?
Yeah, it's not going well.
What, you're on 1 win and
1 win, 1 loss so far. You've just got Jake Laird.
Oh, I just got owned with a draw.
Yeah.
Dear me. Right, so what made you think about the army?
What made me think about the army?
Yeah.
Well, it mainly came from a previous tournament where I came up against a very similar one. Again, it was Galadhrim with Elrond's households and Riverdale Knights, but I really liked the colour scheme. It was snow bases.
Yeah.
I think they had like a really dark royal blue, and I thought I quite liked that. And so I sort of did a twist on it. I went for a really light blue and silver armour as well, snow bases. So it was mainly aesthetic was the reason I started the army.
Right.
And then sort of took it from there.
You know, I've turned this all upside down. We usually start with this new series with a simple question because, listen, you know I'm overly competitive. I struggle with that. I have no idea what fluffy actually means because everyone seems to have their own perception. What's your perception of fluffy?
My perception of fluffy is it's very subjective and there isn't really a definition. But for me, it is not even necessarily an army that was in the books or in the films, but something that was conceivably around at the same time for allying, and something if you have an Isengard army that is only berserkers, it's not fluffy because there was only 20 or whatever in House Deep.
Okay.
So on that sort of vein, it's just generally taking an army that isn't completely optimised to be competitive, I think.
Okay, but what about, I'll just try this, what about Ed Ball's list? Beast and Shell with 600.
Undeniably fluffy, but
can you see why I struggle?
It's completely subjective. You will not get a direct answer or the correct answer on what fluff is.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. That's cool. How did you get on your first? Well, you just don't answer that. Of course, you won your first 100-point tournament with it.
Yes.
What was the best moment with them, and what was the worst moment with them?
In that tournament, the worst moment was Rumil fighting the Swan Knight of Galadhrim. Heroic combat. Sorry, it was fighting 2. Called heroic combat, killed both of them. Awesome. Yeah. Charged into another Swan Knight who had initially charged. Double won it, lost the fight, died in 1 turn with 2 might remaining, and all of his stats just gone to a 20-point.
Oh no!
But I mean, it's why you play. You can't be angry. You just have to laugh about it. It's so ridiculous that you can't plan for that in your game.
No. I just had Owen there rending with Bjorn the Bear, and he rolled 3 ones for his rend. So it happens. What was the best moment with your army last year?
Played Chris Murphy twice for the 2 last games, just the way it stacked up. And the scenario meant that our leaders had Mighty Hero and they had to kill more than the other person.
Right.
So my leader was Haldir with an Elven Cloak, and there was this massive, really gorgeous set piece of a building with a doorway through, and I basically set up my army in a way that Haldir was stood in the doorway with his Elven Cloak so he couldn't be shot at. Yeah. And he killed 8 or 9 Wood Elves before he got to combat. Just the 3 might point, hit on 3s twice, already on 4s. Just nasty. Just mowed them down, they couldn't shoot back. It was, I want to say tactical genius because I won't give myself that much credit, but it was I think that's the most on form I've been for a tournament. It all sort of fell to place, and I played right in every game that I won.
Yeah.
It always sort of fell into place.
Have you used that army list since in any event, whether
Yes.
tournament or friendly?
Various adaptations of. It's become more filthy and less successful, I'd say. Because since then I've started taking, the obvious choices, Legolas over Haldir, you take.
Yeah.
Rumil's normally still there, but sometimes Thranduil, which is a good support hero.
Is this Thranduil on the Beast Horse? Or
Old school.
Old school, right?
Or of Dismay and
he's got
Nature's
Wrath, yeah.
yeah, leading Galadhrim. So it's less themed, but I mean, this was before the new North and Elves came out, so there wasn't really an armoured troop for the Elves at the time. And I've still done well with it. I've podiumed, and I think the lowest I've come with that is 7th. But it's never sort of done what it needs to do like the original one did.
Mm-hmm. And I've got to apologise, you have been a dedicated viewer and always putting your name down for the free tickets, and though your name's in the back and it's still not
I'm starting to get a bit of a fix.
No, it's not.
It's a bit of bias.
Oh, dearie me, definitely not, otherwise I wouldn't mention it. I just have to have a word with no one and make sure your name goes in 5 times next time.
Yeah.
Buy 5 tickets.
Just give me a free ticket.
Give me a free ticket. Tried that last time, but you'd gone away and you'd sorted out the ticket figure last time.
I had, actually, yeah.
Yeah, well, behind the scenes, we had one already sorted for you.
Wow.
But, there you go. This is what he says, but I actually mean something different, I'm sure. But on a lighter note, what have you brought today, just out of curiosity?
Today is just mental. So Army 1, we have to split 2 armies between 400 and 600 points.
Listen to this, it's disgusting.
It's not though, it's so stupid.
Disgustingly stupid.
It's just showed that it doesn't work. So Army 1 is the Endyron Fellbeast, which is the nasty part.
Okay.
And then Fimble and Yasneg on Warg, and 4 Orc Captains on Warg and Shield. And then Army 2 is Vrasku, 7 Urukai Captains with Heavy Armour Crossbow on 1-2. So it's 15 models, 33 might. But the issue is, when they're separate, it doesn't work.
Oh, right, they need to be close together. Kind of like a flying circus on the ground.
Yes, that's
right. There is no army. That's logically illegal somehow, but it's not. That's a lot of might.
It is. It's good fun.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, really enjoying it. I mean, I lost to Jay. It was a hell of a game, and obviously we know Jay's a good player because he won the league. It's about as good as it gets. And he had all kinds of guards, so same fight value as the captains, and he's wounding them. There he is now, actually.
Hello, Jay. Hello.
Wounding them on 6s, so basically my army doesn't work against that army.
He's giving us a review of you beating him badly. Here's Mr. J. Clare!
He's sorry, really.
A very super important person that we can't talk about. Go away.
But yeah, it was a really, really good game, and it came down to one very important one that I lost. I won the other 7, so it was nowhere near equal, but I lost the one important one.
What are your plans for Fluffy for the coming year? Are you going competitive this year?
I'm currently 2nd.
So you are going competitive, whether you want it or not?
It's the conflict. It always depends on the rules back, because sometimes I just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit hesitant to not, because last year for the final I was playing for top 10. Didn't realise I was at the time.
Wow.
And so I sacked it off and took Arnor and Easterlings, because they're my 2 favourite sort of non-competitive armies.
Yeah.
Managed to come 8th, and if I'd have taken anything half competitive and come 7th, I would have been in the top 10.
Oh, wow.
So there's some heartache there, so I don't really want to do that again. But I mean, the season started off well. I've got a 2nd, a 3rd, a 1st.
But have you actually focused on going competitive?
No, never in my life.
Well, why don't you? Go for it. Go for it. Just end the story.
I don't like abusing small children though, because game 1, it was really good fun for. Well, it wasn't really fun for anyone because I just panned out a child. But it's what happened because the community is so inclusive. You often get matched against people who sort of don't really deserve to be matched against you.
Yes.
And I think that's not anything to massage my own ego. Sometimes if you take an optimised army and you're there to win, and someone's like, "Oh, well, I've got some nice elves," and it's just like, "Oh, I'm really sorry," before we even start.
Yeah, but if you're saying sorry before you start, then and you help people whilst you're playing, and they can have a good game.
Yeah.
I've managed to have a couple of games but last year was my competitive side. Go for it, mate. Yeah, the title is there.
Yeah, well, we'll see how we get on.
Right.
Ed is doing very well, and he's got quite a good lead.
Ed
so
someone does very well at starting the year.
I'm in a position to make him sweat a bit, but ultimately, I probably will.
But I hope to have you here, not necessarily here, but on video again next year, saying congratulations. Tell me about your deadliest, horriblest army approach.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Alright, listen, thanks for listening, everyone. As all would say, like, love, subscribe, below,
All
that
that
sort of,
stuff.
whatever, that sort of stuff. Any comments? Yeah, been great having you on. We'll really appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
And good luck in the rest of the tournament today.
And to you.
And good luck in the league this year. I want you to win it, mate.
That would be good.
Get out there and win it. Alright, listen, guys, loving you from a distance. Bye for now.